Welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Tolu Aya Adeusi. It's always an amazing time, like now when I get in the kitchen to share some of my amazing recipes with you, or the easy way around food. And today I'm gonna be doing something different. I'm not gonna be using the stove, I'm not gonna be using the oven, I'm gonna be using, I call it Mrs. Air Fryer. Another alternative to going to healthy food. So I'm not gonna say I'm just doing chicken or doing fish or doing one thing today. I'm gonna show you little things you can achieve with your air fryer, because I think the air fryer is the new thing in the day now. And to be honest with you, in my everyday life, I use my air fryer a whole lot. I love using my air fryer when I do not want to turn on the oven or turn on the stove and I want to do something quick. I switch to the alternative air fryer. So let me show you some simple things you can achieve using your air fryer. And I think some of my followers actually requested that I should show them some food I can use the air fryer to achieve, and I'm doing that today. So today, if you look in here, I have different varieties in this bowls and in this trays. Like right here, I have some chicken wings. These are the awful wings. I'm gonna make them into little winglets and the little drums, and I'm gonna cut off the tips, so we're gonna add that. But if you look in here, I have my chicken already cut up and seasoned, and this is Tolu Cook special recipe seasoning that I use for this chicken. I also use this seasoning for my smoked chicken that I actually do. And in here, there's some parsley, there's some paprika, some bouillon, some salt, some curry, some thyme, and a whole lot more. You can always place your order for your own seasoning. And I have in here some yam. This is actually the yam that we refer to in Africa. This is the real yam, not the potato yam. I use my air fryer to also achieve something we call dundun, or you can say your roasted yam or your fried yam. If I actually want to make the roasted yam, I will not take the peel off the yam. And this is the same yam I use in one of my videos for the yam porridge that I did. This is the same yam I use in achieving it. Even I think I did a video on dundu, which is the fried yam. I use this kind of yam also. And I like to sit the yam in a bath water in a sea salt. I put some sea salt in the water and I let the yam sit in it so that it can at least help me a little bit with the texture. And in this tray, I have some potatoes that I use for French fries. These are the potatoes I use for French fries. Sometimes I use the red skin potatoes. And my son says French fries does not come from potatoes. So we make French fries, but we don't use potatoes, but this is what I use. And when I want to do some sweet potato fries, this is my go-to. If I actually peel this for you, the inside is white. It's not the regular one that is orange on the inside. The sweet potato that is orange on the inside is usually best used for like sweet potato pies and some like sweet potato casserole. You can use the yellow one, but this one, if you want to make your sweet potato fries, I prefer to use this. It's a little bit more dense. Then I have some plantain here. These are some plantain. I have this a little bit getting on the ripe side. If I want to do my roasted plantain, I prefer it to be a little bit on the ripe side. If I want to do my plantain chips, I prefer to use the one that it's not ripe. So I have here some corn. Today I'm going to be making you some roasted corn. If you've missed that roasted corn by the side of the road, this is the imitation of it that we're going to be making, but mine is going to be flavored. You know your girl likes a lot of flavor. I have to put in some flavor in this roasted corn. So we're going to do that. Do you like roasted peppers? Some sweet roasted peppers. These are some sweet peppers. We have the orange, we have the yellow, we have the red, and we can use this to make our roasted peppers. And in here, I have my mackerel fish. This is the same fish I use for my smoked mackerel that you all have come to love and you place order for all the time, but I can also make it in the air fryer. Also, There are so many other meals you can make in your air fryer. You can actually use it to bake your cakes, your cupcakes. You can use it to bake your meat pies. You can use it to make a whole lot of things. But I'm just gonna touch base on some little things today. I will see what I can cover because I really do not want this video to be too long. And also in here, I have some seasoning that I'm gonna be using for the vegetables and the starch that I have in here, except the chicken. It's already seasoned. So majorly for most of all these, I'm just gonna be using some salt, some olive oil, and some black pepper. So depending on which one I'm going for, so I cannot really tell you and say this is all the seasoning. It's gonna be confusing. But as I go through each meals, I would use different seasoning for each one, and I will let you know as we go along. And hopefully this video is going to be broken up into like maybe 2 sections, so that way it's not too long. You will see some things. We'll list the ones I can cover under one video, and under the other video, whatever is not covered under the first one will be covered under that. It's going to be delicious. I love you guys. This is Tolu Cooks, and let the fun begin.
Tell me who you know, who plans better, that dream come true. Yeah. She not there disappointed.
So Tolu Cooks family, the first thing we need to do is we need to wash our hands and know that yes, we're ready to cook. And the first thing I'm going to be treating is the chicken. The first thing we're gonna work on is the chicken. The only way I achieve that is I go ahead and I cut out the wing part of it. I only need the drums, so I really don't. If you like to chew on bone, you have it, but that's all I need. And you're just trying to go in the joints. You see that? Even when you get the joints right, you don't have to really work so hard. So like that's the joints right there. And if you go right in the joints, it cuts off. And that's how I achieve my winglets. You see? And I'm gonna be using this part of it is what I'm using. You clean it up, you make sure there's no air on it, and that's about it. Now that we have our wings ready, if you're looking here, it's already seasoned. And in these, I have some paprika, I have some parsley, I have some bouillon, some salt, I have some curry, I have some thyme leaf, a little bit of cumin, a little bit of rosemary, and I have a little bit of my special ingredients. In here, I mix it well together. You want to make sure it's well coated. I actually made this a few hours ago. I left it in the refrigerator for it to kind of marinate for about 3 to 4 hours. And at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and put in a little bit of olive oil, just about 2 tablespoons, and I mix it well. Then on my air fryer, I'm gonna go ahead and press the air fry because I actually want to air fry this. The kind of air fryer I use, you can air fry, you can roast, you can bake, or you can reheat your meal if that's what you're trying to do. But right now I'm trying to air fry. I've already set it on 20 minutes. You can always reduce it or you can increase it to the time that you want. But for my chicken wings, I always want to set it on 20 minutes, and for the temperature, the highest the air fry will let you go is 400. So I like to set it on 400, and all I have to do left is start, and it's gonna start heating up. And while it is heating up, I'm gonna mix this well with the olive oil that I just added. And chicken on one layer. And normally this air fryer usually would take about 20 wings. So we have our chicken on one layer. All I have to do is close it up and it's gonna start air frying. I'm gonna stick the rest of this chicken into the fridge, and once that one is done, I can put in the second batch and let it air fry. So while we're waiting for that to happen, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start working on my potatoes, my sweet potato, my Irish potato, and my yam. I'm gonna season it and get it ready for the air fry. This is the yam that I'm cutting up in here, the yam. But I try to cut it ahead of time so it's ready to go. I'm sorry about that sound in the background. That is from the air fryer. So if this size is too big for you, for me this is too big. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a smaller cut so it's closer to the size of the French fry. I believe if I make it big, it will take a little bit longer for it to cook, and I do not really want it to take that long. So even chunks like this is too good. This is like a wedge. So I like cutting mine down a little bit. And remember, I've told you guys before, be careful of letting the yam splash on you because of it's gonna eat you. So that is it for my yam. My ham is good, it's ready to go. I can pull this out and just toss out. I like it to sit down in water. When it sits down in water like that, it helps with the color. So I'm gonna sit this to the side. I'm still working on my starch. So right here, I actually have the potatoes used for French fries. So I'm gonna go ahead and rinse them. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna leave the skin on because the skin, there's nothing wrong with the skin is good. And I'm just gonna cut it in fry sizes. If you like it smaller, make it smaller. If you like it bigger, you can always make it bigger. So if you want to make it like a wedge, you can leave it in this size. But because I'm going for a fry size, I have to give that into 2 cuts. Now for the potatoes, we have the option of actually going ahead to peel off the skin on the potatoes. So you can go ahead and do that and get the skin off your potatoes with a peeler. It makes it go faster. And when you use a peeler, it actually helps you save on wasting the potatoes itself. Now on the air fryer, it's telling me to go ahead and turn my, you can hear the beep, right? It's telling me to go ahead and turn my chicken. So I'm just gonna go ahead and turn the chicken and I'll put it back and I'll let it keep it frying. So now I have my potato already peeled out. The thing with me is when it comes to sweet potatoes, I'm indifferent if I want to leave the skin on or if I want the skin off. The only thing is, remember, it's not like the regular potato that it is soft. Be careful of your hand, it is a little bit hard even than the orange ones. But this is sweet, it is delicious, not too sugary overbearing. Now other part of the potato, this one I'm not gonna peel. I'm gonna leave the skin on. Whenever I look at it and the skin looks beautiful to me, it means it is yummy. So I'm gonna cut this one with the skin on. So you have your choice. You can either take off the skin or you can leave the skin on. Okay. Now if you look in here, our chicken is done. You can see that. I'm gonna go ahead and take this out and put it on the plate. And as you can see, our yam is ready to go, so it's gonna be going in the air fryer next. I'm gonna go ahead and plate this for you. Now I have my chicken out of the air fryer. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn it on to roast because I'm gonna actually roast it. And for the time, I'm gonna set it on the 15 minutes, and I'm gonna put it on the temperature of 375. The time I want it to be 15 minutes, and I'm gonna push start on that. And while that is preheating, this is my yam right here. I'm gonna let the water out of it at this point. I'm gonna put it in a bigger bowl. Now I need a little bit of olive oil to go around it, salt, just to taste according to how much you like to put in yours. And I'm gonna mix well. That is for my yam. The same thing for my potatoes. This is my French fries. So I'm gonna dump out the water from the bowl. I'm gonna put the potatoes in the bowl. Olive oil the same way, just a little bit. And I'm gonna put in some salt to taste. And I'm gonna mix well. Now for the sweet potatoes. This is my sweet potatoes. I'm gonna get it out of the water. Put it in the bowl. A little bit of salt to taste. And me personally, I like to put some cinnamon sometimes on my sweet potato. It is up to you, your choice. And the only thing I'm gonna do at this time is I'm gonna mix it well. I want to make sure the salt and the olive oil coats my potatoes, my yam, my sweet potatoes very well. You see the way it is shining? That is the look I am going for. You can always taste it to see if it is up to your standard. Then if you also want to increase the flavor, you can go ahead and put in a little bit of garlic and ginger in it to kind of give it that different variation in what you're trying to make. In another video, I think I did a video about roasted potatoes. Add roasted potatoes. You can see the air fryer is already saying I should add food. I'm gonna go ahead and open, and I'm gonna go ahead and put in my potatoes on one side. We're gonna put that down. I'm gonna put this on one side. One thing you should note is they cook at different levels. So this is my French fries that I'm going for. And I like to put it down at one layer. And in all honesty, this potato for the French fries is actually cooked faster than the yam and the sweet potato. So I'm gonna do the yam and the sweet potato together, but I'm gonna let this do, and this is just gonna go on for about 10 minutes, but this goes on for about 15 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and stick that in. It's gonna start. I'm gonna press time, and I'm gonna reduce the time to 10, and I'm gonna let it keep going, and that's it. My yam, I'm just gonna mix well. I do not like to put in my hand to mix the yam because it itches real bad if it gets on the skin. So I prefer to do the toss and motion, and I just move it around in the bowl. I look at it, I feel like I need a little bit more oil, and I add a little bit more olive oil, and I put a little bit more salt to taste. And for my yam, when I want to put it in, I like it to have a little bit of water in it. And as I cook halfway through, I sprinkle just a little bit water in it to kind of give it that moisture because I do not want it too dry. And that is ready to go. This is ready to go. I'm going to take out my potatoes, my French fries actually, and I'm going to put in these two potatoes in next. For the peppers, I'm just gonna use a few of these peppers. These are sweet peppers. You can actually rinse them and just start chewing on them. I do that a lot. I use it for my snack. So for me to do it in the air fryer, I want to say air freshener in the air fryer, I go ahead and take out the bum and I clean out the seed. I make sure there's no seed in it. So I'm just gonna do like few of them because we're gonna have this with the chicken wings and the starch, the fries and the roasted yams and the sweet potato. So I clean out the inside. And even when you want to eat your salad, these peppers are so good. Just slice some of them on your salad, you will love it so much. You can see that, and you can also pan roast this. You can put it in the pan, and you can put some oil and sea salt on it, and just toss it around. So. Now that my peppers are already rinsed and clean, see how beautiful those peppers are. I feel like just eating it like this, but I wouldn't do that. So I have my peppers already cleaned out. It's already deseeded. So I have my black pepper. I'm gonna go ahead and put my black pepper on it. And the work of the black pepper and the sea salt is for it to help it to release all its natural flavor. And this is my sea salt. I have my olive oil. I'm gonna actually drop a little bit of olive oil on them, but I'm gonna go back and individually massage the peppers. So I wanna make sure that I rub my hand on it and on the inside. If not, the seasoning is not gonna get in. So that one is ready. And I put it in the bowl, and I have some of the seasoning in here. I'm gonna go ahead and toss it on it. Just to finish it up, a little bit of sea salt to top it off, and a little bit of black pepper. This is actually black peppercorn. So I have that there, and I'm gonna just drizzle a little bit of my oil, and it's ready to go in the air fryer. And that is the end of this one. And our fries is done. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the potatoes, and I'll show you everything together. Now we're going for the potatoes. This is the sweet potato. I'm only gonna put it on one half of the air fryer. And I'm gonna go for my almighty yam and the other half of it. And we're gonna put this in the air fryer. Let me move it closer so you can see. We're gonna go ahead and go to roast. We're gonna put it on 15. Actually, let me give it a little bit more cushion and put it on 20 on roast. And I'm gonna increase the temperature to 400, and I'm gonna start. I'm gonna go ahead and take out my roasted peppers. I took out the yams already, so if you look here, they are beautiful. Okay, my people, on this first part of using the air fryer, I was able to make you some chicken wings, some roasted peppers, some sweet potato fries, some French fries, and some yam fries. This is a wonderful meal. You can actually have this together, and it is well balanced because you have your veggies, your protein, and your starch all working for you. Yeah, and all of this was created using the air fryer. You can actually buy an air fryer of your choice, and you can use it. Just make sure it's a good air fryer, and it's gonna get the job done. So, and if you notice, on all those meals I use different temperature and different setting on my air fryer to accomplish this. So let me show you what the chicken looks like. This is the chicken. It is hot. The beauty of air fryer is It still gives you that frying look and the frying feel. It is dry, fried, crunchy, whatever you want to call it on the outside, and the inside is still moist. And that's the beauty of that. And the same thing when I go to my yam, you can see the texture on the outside, and when I break it in, I still get that softness. It helps hold the moisture in the food. So this is my son's favorite. He loves fries. And the sweet potato fries. It wouldn't be good if I don't try this for you, you know? At least I tried everything already. That's my favorite. And we have some roasted peppers here. So for me, you can just add this by itself. This is really good. You need to try it, honestly. It has a lot of flavor. It has a lot of moisture held in. The food is not dry, and the flavor, the taste, the aroma, everything about cooking on the stove is not lost in any of this meal. And it has been an honor sharing this with you. Remember to hold on to your faith. Remember never to let go of your wonderful, beautiful friends. And remember what? Family is the heart of our soul. This is the tree of life. Never let go, hold on to it, and continue loving one another. Watch out for the other half of this video, where I'll be showing you my roasted fish from the air fryer, my roasted street corn, and roasted plantain with some roasted avocado. Mwah! See you soon.